This is the Brink's Robbery on True Oddities podcast. On the bitterly cold evening of January 17th, 1950, in the heart of Boston's historic North End, the Brink's armored car depot at 165 Prince Street appeared to be just another ordinary night winding down. The three-story building housed one of the most secure cash-handling facilities in the city. Inside, on the second floor, 5 Brink's employees were finishing their shift. They were carefully counting, sorting, and storing sacks of undelivered cash, checks, money orders, payroll envelopes, and valuable securities before securing everything in the vault for the night. The clock was approaching 7:30 p.m. Outside, the narrow streets were quiet, snow lightly falling, and the neighborhood was settling in for the evening. No one inside had any idea that 11 hardened Boston criminals had been meticulously planning this exact moment for nearly 2 full years. The mastermind behind it all was Anthony Fats Pino, a veteran career criminal with a long rap sheet. Pino had carefully recruited a tight crew of 10 other experienced thieves, including Joseph Specs O'Keefe, Stanley Gus Gusciora, Vincent Costa, Henry Baker, Adolph Jazz Maffey, Michael Geegan, James Faherty, Thomas Richardson, and others. This was not a random smash and grab. The gang had spent 18 months obsessively casing the depot. They timed every delivery, studied employee routines, tested security procedures, made duplicate keys by sneaking in during off hours, and even practiced the entire operation multiple times. They knew exactly when the vault held the maximum amount of cash and valuables. They called it the perfect crime. At precisely 7:10 p.m., 7 of the masked men used their copied keys to slip silently inside the building. They were dressed identically: dark chauffeur caps, navy pea coats, soft rubber-soled shoes to muffle every footstep, gloves to leave no fingerprints, and cheap rubber Captain Marvel-style Halloween masks pulled over their faces. Each man carried a .38 caliber revolver and large canvas laundry bags. They moved like professionals, quiet, efficient, and ice-cold. The 5 Brink's employees never stood a chance. The robbers burst into the vault area with guns drawn and quickly overpowered them. The workers were forced face down on the floor. Their hands were tightly bound behind their backs with rope, and their mouths were taped shut. No shots were fired, no screams, no chaos. The gang then spent the next 17 to 20 minutes calmly looting the vault. They filled 14 heavy canvas bags with cash, checks, money orders, and securities. The total haul came to $1,218,211.29 in cash, plus $1,557,183.83 in checks and other valuables, a staggering $2.775 million in 1950 dollars, worth roughly $37 million in today's money. They left behind about $1 million in heavy silver coins and bulky bags they simply couldn't carry. The weight of the stolen loot exceeded half a ton. By around 7:30 p.m., the men were gone. They loaded the bags into a waiting getaway truck and vanished into the Boston night without a trace. Just minutes later, one of the bound employees managed to free himself and raise the alarm. The police arrived quickly, but the robbers had already disappeared. This was, at the time, the largest robbery in United States history. Newspapers across the country called it the crime of the century and the perfect crime. Brink's immediately offered a $100,000 reward. The FBI and Boston police launched one of the biggest manhunts in history. Hundreds of known criminals were questioned. The underworld felt the heat immediately. Yet for almost 6 years, the gang appeared to have gotten away clean. They had left almost no physical evidence, no fingerprints, no clear witnesses, no immediate leads. Cracks began to form from within. The gang started fighting bitterly over how to divide the massive score. Joseph Specs O'Keefe felt he had been shortchanged on his share. Tensions escalated. In 1950, O'Keefe and Gusciora were arrested in Pennsylvania on unrelated charges. Later, O'Keefe survived a brutal assassination attempt ordered by his former partners. He was shot multiple times but miraculously lived. That betrayal pushed him over the edge. In early January 1956, just days before the 6-year statute of limitations would have expired and made prosecution impossible, O'Keefe made a deal with authorities. He flipped and provided detailed testimony against the rest of the crew in exchange for protection and a reduced sentence. The FBI and police moved fast. 8 of the 11 men were arrested and charged. On October 5th, 1956, after a lengthy trial, 8 of the robbers were convicted. Each received life sentences for robbery, plus additional years for conspiracy and breaking and entering. 2 others died before they could be brought to trial. Only a tiny fraction of the money, less than $60,000, was ever recovered. Rumors persisted for decades that much of the remaining loot was buried or hidden in remote locations, including hills north of Grand Rapids, Minnesota. Most of it simply disappeared forever. The Brink's robbery became legendary. It inspired 4 Hollywood movies, multiple books, including one co-authored by O'Keefe himself, and endless fascination. It proved that even the most meticulously planned perfect crime could unravel because of one thing: human greed and betrayal. As the heavy canvas bags are loaded into the getaway truck one final time, the masked men slip away into the snowy Boston night, and the vault door swings shut on one of America's greatest true oddities. That's episode 8 of True Oddities, the Brink's Robbery of 1950, the greatest bank heist in U.S. history. Next episode, we dive into one of the most mysterious online puzzles ever created, Cicada 3301. In 2012, an anonymous entity posted an incredibly complex riddle on the internet that attracted the brightest minds in the world. Subscribe, rate the show, and I'll see you in the next bizarre but true tale. Stay odd.